Hey, hi everyone. This is Sai from LetsUpgrade. So let's talk about how to get your certificate. It's very simple. You will see two links in the description. Number one is the place where you have to go and mark your attendance. Marking your attendance tells us like, okay, you are a legit student who have attended this particular session. Link number two is your assignment. This is where your 90% of the priority is. You have to go and submit the assignment that is given to you in this particular session. Once you're done submitting that assignment, we will be evaluating that. We will send you an email. If you get the passing criteria, then only we will give you the certificate on a particular date that is mentioned again in the description. Please check these three things, and this is the way how you will get a certificate from Let's Upgrade. Number one, mark your attendance. Number two, just go ahead and upload your assignment. Check for the email that you have received it, yes or no. What is the feedback that you have received from your trainer? Number three, check on which date the certificates will be released. Thank you. Bye. All the best. Happy learning.
Hey guys, and welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to start the day 2 of React Bootcamp. So in the day 1, we have already seen what is introduction to React.js, what are the components, basics, and all those things, right? Now, today we are going to see the most important thing, first of all, is JSX, then your states and props. Okay, so these three things are the most important things that we are going to see in this video. But before this, let us first revise what we have done in the yesterday's class, that was about components. Okay, so what do you understand by component? What we did in the last class was that components are nothing but the simple functions, right? Just like JavaScript functions, we have components in React. Okay, so we already I already told you that a component is something which returns some JSX, right? Now, what is this JSX? What are things? We'll discuss that today. But before that, let us create some other components as well. Okay, so I'll create a new folder, and components is the name for that folder, and let us create a new folder once again. So we have child component, new folder, we have parent component, and let's say we have grandparent component, and then we have let's say grandchild. Okay, grandchild component. So we have these four folders. So why I have made a folder? Why? Because I could make a file as well, right? But it is always preferred to make a folder because now for in this folder I can create two files. One is JSX file and the other one is CSS file, right? So let's say I want to create a file and child dot JSX. Okay. Now see, do you see the first letter of this component name is capital, right? I told you that we have to keep the first letter of this component name as capital. Why this is capital? Because whenever you try to call a component, it is called as, a tag. Okay, and if the first letter is capital, then I can easily recognize that yes, it is a component calling and not a normal tag. Okay, so first of all, if you want to create a component with the shortcut, so there is a shortcut called RAFCE. Okay, or you can write like this. Okay, so when you write RAFCE and when you hit enter, so it gives you a boilerplate kind of a thing. Okay, so this is a component, right? Why it is a component? Because if you see over here, okay, let us create a component by ourselves. Okay, so let's create a normal functioning component. Okay, so we have a function. Okay, and the name is child. Okay, so this is a function, right? It's a normal JavaScript function. But if this child function returns a JSX, right? So if this child function returns a JSX, now what is JSX? I'll come to it. Okay, so if this child function returns a JSX, now this is a component, right? In very simple terms, that this is a component. Because why it's a component? Because a function returning JSX is known as a component, right? Now, what is JSX? Let us understand that first. Okay, before that, there's one more thing. Export default child. Now, what do you understand by this export? Why do we need to export this? Why do we need to export this? See, if you are creating something, right? If you are creating a function, right, and you have to use this function in some other file, okay? So what you will do? First, you will export that particular function from this file, from the um file where it is originated, right? You will export it from there, right? And then you will import it in some destination file, right? Where you have to import it. Let's understand it like this. So let's say we have a river, right? We have a river, let's say. So that river comes from, originates from one place, and it continues till it covers many states down the line, right? So first, what happens, the state from where it is originated, right, it exports that state, it gets exported from that space, right, it gets out of that state, and then it enters in some other states, right? So that is exactly what is happening over here. So when we create a component, and if we have to use that component outside its origination, right, then we have to export it from there, and the place where we have to use it, we have to import it over there, right? Then we can then we are good to use this component inside some other component or inside some other file. Okay, so yeah, that is the concept of export. Okay, now there are two types of export. One is export default and normal export. So see, what is the difference between export default and normal export? So let's say, let me create another component over here. So I'll create a arrow function component. Okay, so const component 2, which is equals to like this. So it's an arrow function, right? It's a normal arrow function. Very good. But if this arrow function returns a JSX, if this arrow function returns a JSX, okay, now it is a component. Now this is a component. Okay. So over here, see, there are two types of export, as I told you, export default and normal export. EXPORT. So this is the example of normal export, and this is the example of export default. So can we export one particular component from a file? The answer is no. You can export as many components as you want from a file. So as you see over here that we have created two components in this child.jsx file, and we are exporting both the components. But when we are exporting both the components, I am exporting one component as a export default and one component as a normal export. Let's say, let us create another component. Okay, let us create another component. Let's say child 2, okay, or child 3 maybe, right? And I want to export this component. So I will do it like this, export function child 3. So now I have three components in this one file, but if you see, two components are exported as a normal component, and one component is default export. So from a file, you can export as many components as you want, right? But you can only export at max one default component. That's it. At max one default, I'm talking about. Okay. So when I say at max one default, it means that we can or we cannot, right? We might or we might not export one component, but at max we can export only one default component, right? एक से कम हो सकते हैं, एक से ज्यादा नहीं हो सकते default component. If you want, I can comment this and I can simply export this. I can do it like this. This is allowed, right? You can export all the components as a normal export, right? But this is not allowed. Export default component 2. No, this is not allowed. Okay, this is something which is not allowed. You cannot export two default components, right? If you want to export, you can at max export one default components, or you can like export zero default components, but you cannot export more than one default components, right? So this is what the export is. So yeah, so now when you're exporting in two different ways, right? One is default export and one is normal export. So of course, when you are importing these components, right, there must be two different ways to import it, right? One is for export, one is for default imports, and one is for normal imports, right? So let's first of all let us create all the other components. So new file, grandchild.jsx, RAS3. So this is another component. Very good. Let us remove this. Now, why this React is here? Let's remove this. Yeah, new file, grand parent dot JSX, right? RASCE. Then we have parent dot JSX. We have RASCE. Okay, Control Z. Perfect. Great. So now we have all the components ready, right? Now let us understand JSX first, okay? And then we will see this import wala part. So see, is JSX uh, HTML? So many people say that JSX means when we write HTML and JavaScript together in one line. Um, kind of yes and kind of no as well. So see, when I talk about JSX, first of all, understand this thing that can I write JavaScript without, or can I write React? Can I make React applications without JSX? So answer is yes, you can make React applications without JSX as well. No harm in that. You can do it, right? It is it is very much allowed to create a React application without JSX. Let me show it to you. Let me show it to you. Okay. Okay. So understand this thing. Here it is. Hello. Okay, here it is. Hello. Or let me say H1, sorry, H1 and H1. Okay, so this is hello, right? In the grandchild, I'll not write this. Okay, in the grandchild, let me not write this. Okay, let me say let me create another. So const heading, right, which is which is equals to react dot create element. Okay, react dot create element. So what element we want to create? I want to create a h1 element, then comes something like this, and then comes the content, which is hello from I can say grandchild. Okay, and now I have to import React. Okay, import import React. Okay, so now this heading that I have written over here, right? So I can call this heading. I can log this heading over here like this. Or let me return this. Let me return this heading. Okay, let me return this heading. Okay, can I do it like this? Yes, I can do it like this. It's allowed. It's very much allowed. Okay, so over here in the app.jsx, right? Hello guys, below this, let me call all the other components. So first component was my, I guess, grandchild component, if I'm not wrong, right? And then I have child component. So let me call these. Let me call this child component as well. Okay, perfect. So let us see on the browser. So npm run dev. What happened? Oh, sorry, my bad. Open with integrated terminal. Oh, sorry, npm start. npm start. Okay, yeah, because it is CRA, right? Create React app. So that's why. Okay, great. Perfect. Let us see what happens. Okay, something is missing. Oh, if you meant collection, what happened? Oh, uncode objects are not valid React child. Okay, 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 okay. Use array instead. Okay, got it. So what is the problem is? So let me tell you. The problem is that over here it says that objects are not a valid child. Okay, no worries. Let me log it for you. Okay, let me log it for you. Once, let me log it for you. Let's say heading. Okay, and over here, let's say div. Fine. Let's see now. Okay, so do you see hello over here? But over here, we have a object which says okay, let me show it. Let me show it. Heading dot props. Okay, heading dot props. So if you go over here, let's reload this. Yeah, dot children. Heading dot prop dot children. Okay, do we have it? Yeah, we have that. So I'll copy this now. I'll copy this now and I will paste it over here like this. Do you see hello from grandchild and hello is also visible? Right now, hello from grandchild and hello, both things are visible. Let me do it like h1 tag only. So see, hello from grandchild and hello guys, all the three things are visible. Okay, so if you see hello from grandchild, did I make did I make did is this okay, let me remove this return. Let me remove this as well. Okay, so you will say that, okay, Rishabh, that you have created a h1 tag and that's why it is working, right? No, it's not like that. Okay, it is not like that. See this now. Or let me remove this empty fragments as well, right? Let me remove it completely. Let us remove it completely. What happened to, okay, my bad. Remove this. Remove this, right? Let's see. Okay. Do you see hello from grandchild? Right? So it's not like that. We have to give HTML to write React. No, right? We can react. We can write React like this as well, right? By using React.create, and this is exactly how the original React looks like. This is how your actual React element looks like. Okay, and if you see it on the browser, if you see it on the browser in the elements tag, do you see over here that in the root element inside div, we have hello guys, we have hello from grandchild, right? We have it all, right? We have this hello from grandchild over here, right? But it actually should be h1, right? But why it is like that? But anyways, so do you see that yes, things are getting created? It actually should be h1. Why it is like this, I'm not sure. If I do it like this, will it work? No, it will not work. Okay, fine. So basic to write React, JSX is not at all required. Never, right? JSX was never required to write your React applications. Okay, it's just keep for our easiness, right? Facebook developers has created JSX because we cannot create a whole app like this. No, we cannot. Right? I cannot create a whole app like this. It's very hectic for me. It's a very overhead for us to create apps like this, right? So that's why JSX comes into picture. Okay, so for now, understand this thing very carefully that React alone is not at all powerful thing, right? React is powerful, but there are many more things that makes your React application powerful, like React DOM, right? So React is different, React DOM is different, right? Likewise, states in React is a kind of different concept, right? Then we have okay, we have Redux, right? Redux is altogether a separate library. Redux is different, React is different, React DOM is different, JSX is different. These all things are different. They are not, JSX is not the part of React. Understand this thing very carefully. It's very important for you guys to understand that JSX is not the part of React. JSX is different, right? React is different. React DOM is different. React Native is different. Everything is different. Okay, so this JSX was created. So this is how your JSX looks like. Now again, this JSX is not HTML. Okay, JSX is not writing HTML and JavaScript is one in one line. No, this is HTML like syntax. Okay, this is not HTML element. Okay, this is HTML like syntax. So you can say XML like syntax. Okay, this is not HTML. Now I'll prove you this thing. Okay, I'll prove you this thing. So if you try to write class over here, if this was HTML, okay, if this was HTML, then this class attribute would work, right? Hello guys. Okay, this class attribute will work now if this was a HTML, if, right? But let me show you something. So let me remove this first. Let me comment this out first. Okay, and let me return normal JSX from here as well. Hello from hello from grandparent. Okay, let's see. Yeah. So if you see the console, do you see a error is coming and it is stating invalid DOM property class? Did you mean class name? See, it's a invalid property, right? That is coming from child element. See, child.jsx, second number line. Let us go to child.jsx, right? In this second number line, from this return is throwing an error. And if I write class name over here, right? See, reload. Now that error is gone, right? Now that error is gone. And if I write class over here, it will throw us then error. See, invalid DOM property class. Did you mean class name? So if this was a HTML, if this was a HTML, right, then this class would be a valid property, right? This class would be a valid attribute. But since this is not a HTML, it is HTML like syntax. So hence this class is not a valid property. We have to write class name over here, right? It is not HTML, it is HTML like syntax. JSX is HTML like syntax. When you write JavaScript with a HTML like syntax, right, that is what a JSX is. Okay, so I hope that this thing is clear. Now, how can you write a JavaScript over here? So let's say to write JavaScript, what you have to do, let's say you have a hello over here, right? You simply has to put this curly braces, right? You have to put this curly braces and whatever code you have to write, right? Whatever code you have to put in, right? You have to put that JavaScript code inside this curly braces. So let's say I am putting console.log, right? I am putting this log. You have to remove this semicolon. Make sure that if you put this semicolon, it will throw you an error. Okay, so first remove this semicolon. And now this, let's say you have to write, hey guys, how are you? Hey guys, how are you? Okay, so this is a, again, this is, although this is not a JavaScript code, but yes, let's say this is a JavaScript code. Okay, yes, console log is not the part of JavaScript, so that's why I'm saying that this is not a JavaScript code. But for now, let's assume that yes, this is JavaScript code. And now if you see over here, my dear friend, do you see hello guys, how are you is getting printed, right? Hello guys, how are you is getting printed. So let's say if you have a variable, okay, let's say if you have a variable, so const hello, which is equals to tada, right? And if you have to print this variable, okay, if you have to print this variable, so what you will do, you will put this curly braces, right? You will put this curly braces and you will write that variable name and you will see that variable on the browser. Do you see Tata? Do you see Tata over here? Tata. right? If you put say hello is equals to 5, if you put hello is equals to 6, let's say, right? 6. So you will see over here that it is written 6, hello 6, right? So again, if you have to write JavaScript inside this HTML like syntax, then you have to put this curly braces and then you are good to go with any type of JavaScript code that you want to use inside your React element. Okay? Okay, so this is how your things works in React. Okay, this is what JSX means. I hope it is clear now to you guys, right? What is JSX? And again, please do remember always that JSX is different, React is different, React DOM is different, Redux is different. They are not the part of React. Okay, the all these things are separate, right? They are combining together to make React powerful. Okay, cool. Now this thing is clear, I guess, right? Now we have something called states in React, right? So what are states in React? Again, let's not go anywhere else. States in React. Understand, learn with the documentation. Learn with documentation. Please do learn with documentation. State, a component's memory. That's it. What is state? State is a component's memory, right? A component often need to change what's on the screen as a result of an intersection. Okay. Typing into the form should update into the input field. Exactly. So if you are typing something in the form, right, the input field should get updated. Very good. Clicking next on the image carousel should change the image is displayed, right? Very good. So if you are clicking next button on the carousel, the image that is being displaying, right, it should get changed. Clicking buy should put the product into shopping cart. बिल्कुल सही, this should happen. Component needs to remember things, right? Component needs to remember all these things. So component need to remember what is the current input value. Component need to remember what is the current image. Component need to remember the shopping cart. Okay, in React, this kind of component specific memory is called state. That's it. So what is a state? So state is a component specific memory. That's it. The component specific memory is a state. So again, mark my words. It's a component specific memory. Now, what do I mean by component specific memory? So a memory which is only related to a component. It's not getting outside the component, right? It is only it remains inside your component. That is what a component specific memory means. Okay, so now over here, what you will learn. So how to add state variables with use state hook. Now, what is a use state hook? We have a use state hook. What are hooks? Let's say, what are hooks? So see, when I talk about hooks, okay, so again, why would I tell you hooks in React? Let's see. Let's go and study these things over here. Now, built-in hooks. Okay, so we have built-in hooks. So hooks lets you use different React features from your components. You can either use built-in hooks or combine them to use your own hooks. This page lists all the built-in or whatever it is, right? So see, there are some hooks in class components, okay, which were I can say there are some features, right? There are some features in class-based components which were inbuilt, right? Which was by default, which comes with classes by default. Okay. So those features, when React migrated from class-based components to functional-based components, those features were somehow not be able to migrated, let's say. Okay. So what happens? So what eventually happened is that to use all those features inside functional based components, these hooks were created, and those features were such as states, right? So state management. So if you know the definition of React, so some people says that definition of React says that it's a state management library by default, right? So definition of React says that it's a state management library, right? It says this. So why do you think that people say that React is a state management library? Because managing React state was inbuilt in class-based components, but these were missing when your React translated, when your React is converted from class-based component to functional-based component. So the state management feature were missing from there, right? So in functional based component, if you want to manage your states, you have to use hook, and that hook is use state hook. Okay, similarly, we have many more features, just like I can say your life cycle methods, right? So in your class-based components, you have some inbuilt functions, inbuilt methods to use your life cycle, right? To which defines your life cycle. But when you created functional-based components, right, these life cycle methods were not inbuilt. We have to use a different hook to implement all these life cycle methods, and that hook is known as use state hook, right? So when I talk about hooks, so hooks let you use different React features from your components, right? So all the features which was there inside your class based component and is missing in your functional based component is being used by using hooks. And hooks can be a built-in hook, or it can be a custom made hook as well. I can create my own hooks as well. Okay, now how to define like what is a hook? So any word, any function, if you are using, and if it is having use, right, as the initial, like use state, use effect, use reducer, use context, use ref, right? All these things, if you are seeing use in front of a function or in front of any keyword, right, understand that that is a hook, right? Use is a reserved keyword to define hooks, right? Use keyword is reserved to define hooks. Okay, so now okay, coming back to the point that states in this, to understand state management, right, we will learn about a hook, that is use state hook, right? Now what is this use state hook, how it works? Let us see that. To see, over here, here's an example of a component, right? Here's example of so let's create a simple application. Okay, let's create a simple application. So let's create a counter application. Okay, so to create a counter application, let's say div we have, and then we have a button which says increase, right? And then we have a button which says spelling, I don't remember, just check the spellings. Right now we have this hello. Let's say we have this hello, and the hello is starting from 0. I am giving you another example for now. And if I print hello, okay, so if I print hello over here, so let's say hello is printed. Okay, so see, oh, let me print hello in H1 so that it is more clear to you guys. Okay, yeah. So do you see we have increase button, we have decrease button, and we have 0 in between. So now what I want, when I click increase, right, this 0 should get increased to 1. When I again click increase, then it should get to 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, and stuff like that, right? When I hit decrease, it should get decreased each time, right? So now let's say I am writing a on click function. On click function I am writing, and what this function is doing, let's say this function is logging, so increase clicked. Okay, let's say it like this. I'll copy this, I'll paste it, and it is decrease click. Okay, so Do you see increase function is clicked? Okay. So it is getting printed. Very good. Now decrease function is also clicked. See, right? Increase, decrease, increase, decrease. So now I can say that yes, my buttons are getting clicked. So now what I want, so whenever I click on increase button, right, it should increase this hello. So can I say hello plus one should be there? Or can I say hello plus equals to 1? And I'll do a var over here for now, let's say, right? And let us log this hello as well, okay? So let us log this hello as well. So increase clicked, comma, hello. Remove it from here. Decrease clicked, comma, hello, and I'll do it minus hello minus equals to something like this. Let's say, for example, so if I go over here, so increase. Do you see hello is increased to 1? See, it is 1 now. Let me zoom it a bit for you guys. Right? Now, if I increase 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, if I decrease, okay, a decrease 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, right? So do you see that my hello is getting increased and hello is getting decreased as well? But UI pay, there is no change, right? It is not triggering any change on the UI. See, now the value of hello is 9, but is it getting changed on the UI? No, it's not. Why? Why it is not getting changed on UI? So see, if you see the definition of state, so React says that a component often need to change what's on the screen as a result of intersection. So if you want to change anything that is present on the screen, right? If something is present on the screen and you have to change that part, right? If you have to change what's written on the screen, then you have to use a state. Then you have to use a state. So now over here, if I talk about the problem, so we are dealing with a similar kind of a problem that the variable is getting updated, but what's written on the screen is not getting updated, right? That is what is happening over here. So what I have to do, I have to use a state for it, right? I have to use a state for it. So how we have to define the state? So this is how we define state. So const, now let's say we have hello, comma, set hello, which is equals to use state, use state, right? And now this state says, let's say initial value is 0, and I will comment this out. So my dear friends, over here, if you see use state is getting imported from the React. Okay, so this is very important that just like we make a component. Okay, so this React, I can say file. Let's take it as a file only. So this React file also has many different functions, right? Many hooks, many functions that it exports. So if I have to use any of those functions, any of those features, right? Let's say a use state is one of those features. So I have to import it from React, and then I can call it like this. So this has a variable. This is a variable name. This is a function name, and this is a initial value. So the syntax of use state is something like this: that we have a variable name, we have a function name, and then we have a initial value inside this use state. Okay. So what this variable is doing? So this variable is used to use the value, right? Whatever value is, I will consume it by using this variable. So if I remove this, let's remove this. Okay, so just like I was doing till now, so just like if I have to show this hello on the screen, I will simply consume this hello, and right now, since the value of this hello is this, whatever you will pass inside this use state, that will be treated as the initial value of this hello variable, right? So for now, let's say if I pass hi, right? So this high will be the initial value of this hello. So if I go to screen and if I reload my page, do you see high over here? Why this high is over here? Because the initial value of this hello is high. If I place let's say undefined, if I place undefined over here, so now the value of this hello is undefined, right? So if you go over here, see, you will not see any value because it's undefined, right? If you'll say, if you'll place 7 over here, let's say, so the value is 7 now, right? If you place again 0 over here, so value is 0, right? The value is 0. Okay, let's see. Yeah, 0. Now, what happens? What this function is doing? So this function is used to update the value of this variable, right? This function is used to update the value of this variable. So if you have to, whenever in your life you have to update the value of this state that is present over here, what you will do, you will simply call this function and you will pass the new value inside this function, right? You will pass the new value inside this function. So now what is happening? So whenever you are calling this function set hello and you are passing a new value. So let's say, let me pass a value of, let's say, 1, right? So now when I click this increase, so do you see that this variable, right? Do you see? Now the value of this variable is always 1 because I have set it to 1. Let's say if I am doing 1000, okay, if I'm doing 1000, so see, let me reload. Initial value is 0, right? When I'm clicking this button, the value is set to 1000, right? The value is set to 1000. Okay, isn't it great, right? So value is getting changed. So this set hello function, whatever value you will pass inside this set hello function will be set as the value, will be set as the initial value, will be set as the new value of this hello variable. This state, this hello state, right? This will get set as a new value, right? So now what I have to do on every click, right? Whenever I click on this increase function, what I have to do? I have to increase the value of this hello. So if the previous value of hello was 0, and if I click on increase button, what I have to do? I have to increase that value from 0 to 1. If that value is 1, I have to increase it to 2. If that value is 2, I have to increase it to 3. If that value is 3, I have to increase it to 4, right? Something like this. So what I will do, I'll call the set hello function and I will do hello plus 1, which means previous value. So this hello always stores the previous value. So now if the value of hello is 0, so when I will click this button, what will happen? 0 plus 1, which is 1. So now the new value of this hello is 1. If I again click the increase button, so the value of hello is 1 and I will add 1 to it, which will bring me 2, right? So now the new value of this hello is 2. If I again click on increase button, so what will happen? The value of hello is now 2 and I will add 1 to it. So it will create me a 3. It will create a 3 for me. So new value of this hello will be 3, right? And every time you change a state, right? Every time this state is getting changed, right? Every time this state is getting changed, what is happening? So change in state triggers a re-render, right? Whenever you do any kind of change in the state, it will trigger a re-render for you, right? It will re-render the complete UI, right? The complete page will get re-render. Okay, so when the complete page gets re-rendered, all these things, right? All this UI elements will get changed. So now let's say, for example, the value of hello is now 0. When I click increase button, so this hello value will get changed to 1. Right, and now what will happen, since the state is getting changed, so it will trigger a re-render for this complete UI. It will trigger a re-render. So now when it is printing this h1 tag, it will not print 0, but it will print 1 because the complete UI is getting re-rendered. Okay, so now let's go over here. So let me reload. So do you see increase 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? Stuff like that. right? Now, similarly, you will do for decrease. So I'll copy this, I'll paste it, and what I'll do hello minus 1, right? Hello minus 1. Let's go over here. Let's reload. So increase, 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 decrease, 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 increase, 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 decrease, 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 decrease. But do you see it's going to minus as well? It's going for -1, -2, -3, -4. Now, what if I don't want to go it like below 0, right? My decrease function should not go below 0, right? To do this, to do that, what I'll do, if if hello is less than or equals to 0, then return. Simple. Simple as that, right? Let's reload this. So now if you put increase, it is increasing. If you put decrease, 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 decrease. So see, now it is not going beyond, now it is not going below 0, right? Because it is hitting this base condition. So I have added a base condition that if hello is less than or equals to 0, then you have to return. Or can I do it like this? If hello is equals to 0, if hello is equals to 0, can I do it like this? Will it work? Let's say, I'm not sure. Let's see. Okay. Do. Yes, it is also working. Great, cool. So you guys have to tell me in the comments that which is the good approach. Shall we do it like this or shall we do it like this? Which is the good approach? You guys have to tell me in the comments. Okay. So आप लोग को you have to tell this in the comments that which is a good approach. Is this a good approach or double equals to which is the good approach? Okay. So yeah, great. Great, guys. So I guess now this concept of states is clear, right? The concept of states is clear to you guys. Also, there's one homework for you. There's one homework from you. Can I see? I said set hello is equals to hello plus 1. So can't I do it like this? Plus plus. Can't I do it like this? Hello plus plus. Can't I do it like this? Try it yourself. Try doing this. Try doing this, right? Try doing this. Pause this video right here. Try doing this hello plus 1 over here, right? If it is working or not. And if it is not working, then why it is not working? Why hello plus 1 is working and why hello plus plus is not working? This is the question. If it is not working, first of all, pause this video, try it yourself, just give it a try, if it is working or not, right? And if it is not working, then see why it is not working, okay? And write your answers in the comment box, okay? Great. Great. So I guess the concept of states is now clear. Okay. So let us now move to the another concept, which is props. So what are props? What are props? So props, I can say, is a Gen Z word, Gen Z keyword for the term which is properties, right? So we have properties in React, and the short term for that properties is props. Okay, so if you have to pass, right, if you have to pass different properties across the components, right, if I have to pass different properties across components, right, then I will use props. Okay, so what happens in React? So React is a one-way data binding. So React says that okay, I am one-way data binding, right? Now when it comes to Angular is a two-way data binding, but React is one-way data binding. So when I say one-way data binding, it means that by definition, React says that the data flow can be in one direction only. Data flow can be in one direction only. That is from parent to child. Okay, so React says that by definition, data can only flow from parent to child element and data cannot flow from child to parent element. But again, when we go technically deep down, when we dig it down, so yes, we can transfer our data from child to parent as well, no worries in that. But by definition, by legal process, by legality, I can say, actually both are legal would be a wrong term over here, but yeah, see, by definition, React says it's a one-way data binding, that data can only flow from parent to child and not from child to parent. Okay, so what does it mean? That if you have a parent, if you have a, let's say if you have a grandparent, parent, child, and grandchild, right? So this is the hierarchy. Let me create all the other things. So this is my grandparent. Okay, it's already created. Parent is also created. Okay, so parent. Let me put parent. This is my grandparent, right? This is my grandchild. Div, and this is my grandchild, and this is my child. So let me comment all this child. Okay, and let me call all this over here. Well, let's say let's not call all this over here. Let's call grandparent over here. Grandparent over here, right? Now, inside this grandparent, what we have inside this grandparent, I will call my parent. Okay, so I am calling parent inside grandparent, and then I am calling child. Then I am calling child inside my parent, and then inside child, I am calling grandchild. See, now the hierarchy is in index, we have called app. In app, we have called grandparent. In grandparent, we have called parent. In parent, we have called child. In child, we have called grandchild. And in grandchild, I am just printing grandchild, right? So if you see over here, we have this hello guys from app, we have this grandparent from grandparent, we have this parent from parent, we have child from child, and we have grandchild from grandchild. So all the components are visible to me. Now let's say what happens is this app.jsx has a data. This app.jsx has a data. Let's say const name comma set name, set name, which is equals to use state, and the initial value of this is, let's say, Rishabh. Okay. Now I'll copy this, and so how you pass a property, how you pass some props, what happened? Oh, const. Yeah. So how you pass a prop? So see, what are props? First of all, what are props? So just like attributes in your normal HTML, right? Props are also like that. So if I talk about props, let's say name is equals to name, right? Or you can say ABC. ABC is equals to name. So this ABC is some extra property which I am defining, right? This ABC is some extra property that I am defining over here, right? So industry standard says that do it like this, name and then whatever you have to do. So let's say if you have other thing as well. So you have, let's say, age as well, right? Age. Okay. Now we have age, which is equals to age, right? So is it important to do this and this same, like key and value same? No, this is not important. Key can be anything, right? Value is something that you have to pass, right? That you have to pass to this grandparent, but this key can be anything, right? This key can be anything. So over here, what I will do over here, what is going to happen is that just like just like a normal parameters and arguments, right? We pass data over here. So I'll go to this grandparent, right? Over here, I will receive that parameters, right? So it this when I talk about this app, right? So when I talk about this app, so this is like a argument that I have passed, right? So just like in a function call, we pass argument and we receive the parameter in the function definition, right? So this is what? This is a component calling. So if I'm passing the data inside this component calling, so it's a kind of arguments that I'm passing over here, right? It's a kind of argument that I'm passing over here. Now, if I have to use these arguments inside my grandparent, I need to receive it. So we will receive it like this. Inside this curly braces, we will receive name, comma, age. That's it. Now I have received that. So now if I print name, right, and if I print age, comma, age. So do you see over here? Let me reload. Do you see Rishabh, Rishabh, right? Do you see this? that Rishabh is getting printed. Now, let's say I don't want to print it over here. Instead, I want to pass this inside parent. So name, which is equals to name, and age, which is equals to age, right? So now I'll go to my parent and I will receive it over here, name comma age. So now if you read receive it over here, so now I can do what? Name comma age, right? Okay, let's reload. So parent, we have name and we have age, right? So this is how. Now let's say I don't want to use it over here, but instead I want to pass it to my child. So I'll do name, which is equals to name, and age, which is equals to age, right? And I'll go to my child now and I will receive it over here as well, right? Let's receive it over here, name comma age, right? So what will happen? This child over here will, I can use it over here, age comma name, right? I can use it over here. And if you don't want to use it over here, then you can simply see name and age, or age and name, right? Very good. Great. If you don't want to use it, you cannot use it. Instead, you can only pass it to your grandchild. So over here we have a grandchild. So what I will do, I will simply pass this name, which is equals to name over here, and age, which is equals to age over here, right? So I'll go to grandchild and I will receive it over here, name comma age, right? Like this, and then I can simply utilize it. So this is how you pass props. This is what a prop is, right? So passing a data, right? Passing one data from one component to another component is known as props, right? Passing the props, right? So what is a prop? Prop is a data, right? Prop is some extra data, right? That you pass. Okay, props are some extra data that you pass. Okay, so now this is, yes, what prop is. Now there is one concept of prop drilling, right? What is the concept of prop drilling? So see, when you pass data down the hierarchy, right? So this, what I did was a prop drilling. So if you pass data in 1 or 2 level, it's okay, right? But if you pass data in multiple levels, if you pass down your data in multiple levels, it means you are drilling down, right? You are drilling down for multiple levels, right? So that is what a prop drilling is. So let's say if I have passed this data from app to grandparent, it was just simply passing the prop. But what I did, I passed this data from app to grandparent, grandparent to parent, parent to child, child to grandchild. So this concept, when you are passing down your properties, when you're passing down your data, when you're passing down the data down the line up to like multiple levels, then it is known as prop drilling, right? And prop drilling is not recommended in React. Okay, again, now this concept we'll study tomorrow in detail, right? Not in this class, right? Tomorrow is the last session. I'm not sure whether this concept is covered or not. Let's see. Let's see the notes, guys. Let's see our notes. So what is React is already done. Setting up the React project is already done. React components are already done. JSX is already done, right? States and props are already done. So props are done, states are done, right? Handling event in React. So this is something which we'll do tomorrow, right? Conditional rendering, ठीक है, conditional rendering also we'll see tomorrow. List and form, lists and form. So yes, of course, ठीक है. This is something which we will see tomorrow. Okay, this is something which we will to see tomorrow, list and lifecycle methods. So I guess for now, this how to deal with prop drilling and all is not there inside your what we call the boot camp, unfortunately. So we'll have to stop it here only. Okay, so I guess, yes, my dear friends, that was it for today's session. Hope you enjoyed the session, and please do comments down below and share this video, share to your friends, like this video, and comment करके tell us how did the session go. If you like this, if you not like this, and just comment if you want more such sessions from us. Okay, and thank you so much for your time, guys. Thank you so much. I hope you understand the things you have learned a lot of things. You have learned some new things as well in this video. So thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye and good night.